Hello everyone, welcome to another MTGC custom card review. This is Highlander. Today we are reviewing a card by Arceus8523. It's called Anger to Remorse. I guess this is part of a custom set called Amplalo, Realm of the Colossi. So I don't know anything about this set. I will be reviewing several cards from the set, so maybe we can sort of figure out what the set's about just by looking at these cards. Okay, so this card, Anger to Remorse. Triple white, instant, convoke, exile target creature, its controller gains life equal to its power. Okay, so it's a Swords to Plowshares, basically. So this is clearly a play on Swords to Plowshares. Especially, the name also kind of plays it, Anger to Remorse. Yeah, I mean, card seems fine. I mean, triple white is hard to cast, right? That includes the convoke, right? So if you're mono white, then this is a strong card. This is a very strong card because you could potentially, like, if you're mono white aggro, you could potentially play this for free. Although you would be tapping your creatures down, which is generally not something you want to do in mono white aggro. Also, its controller gains life equal to its power. Yeah, this is kind of interesting because I don't really know where this card fits exactly, right? I mean, you have to be playing heavy white in order for this to be. I mean, it's triple white, right? So in order for this to be sort of doing it, I guess is the way to put it. You need to either be playing mono white, in which case this card is. I don't really know where the home is for this card, I guess is what I'm saying, right? I mean, in a late game situation, this is completely fine. I mean, 3 mana to exile a creature is good, right? So if you're playing a 2-color deck, at some point you might get, as long as you're like base white. So like, let's say you're playing like blue-white control or something like that. As long as you're base white, you could play this card. It is incident, which is nice. And maybe you'll have a creature in play to help convoke it. But it doesn't really seem like you'd be living the dream too much with this card because even if let's say you're like mono white aggro, right, and you go 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop, you could potentially play this for free, but you still have to tap down your creatures. So you don't generally want to be doing that, right? Because you want to be attacking. Maybe if you're like some kind of a tokens deck, that's a place I could maybe see this happen. But then there's sort of still the fail case of, let's say they like wrath your board, and now you have an Anger to Remorse in hand. Yeah, I mean it's definitely, I mean, it's a fine card. It's interesting. It's hard for me to really gauge the power level of this card because it seems like the decks that would really want this card, like control decks, are gonna have a hard time casting it. So it's kind of got a little bit of a what am I trying to say? There's a little bit of a non-bow situation going on here, I guess. The anger to remorse. So I'm kind of trying to figure out what the flavor is as well here. Okay, I think I kind of get it, right? So okay, you're angry, you exile a creature, you remorse because you're remorseful, they gain life, and I guess the tapping of the creatures. Actually, the picture kind of helps, right? Because it's got this like this lady like looking remorseful, bending down, and that you could potentially see the tapping of the creatures as like them being remorseful, kind of like this lady is. So that's kind of neat. Yeah, I think the flavor works for me. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I like the card. I definitely like the card. It's hard for me to tell where it exactly fits. I mean, maybe we'll find out as we look at some more cards in the set. Um, the card doesn't do anything particularly unique. I mean, it sorts the plowshares. So I would give this card. I think I would give it a 3 out of 5 for now, which is a totally fine grade, right? I mean, it's I don't get me wrong. I think the design's totally fine, right? It's very difficult to gauge where this card fits. Um, so yeah, let's give Anger to Remorse a 3 out of 5, and maybe as we go through the set, the grade will go up. Um, so yeah, that's Anger to Remorse, and I'll see you for the next card.